police have recorded more than 100 murders so far for the year.
That number climbed by 2 as they probed 2 weekend murders, one in Long Island on Saturday and the other here in the capital earlier this morning. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Paul Roll, told members of the press today that 3 people, including 1 female, are in their custody after their attempt to elude police in this morning's incident was foiled. Now, police say an attempt to dance with a female patron of a nightclub in the Coral Harbor Plaza around 2:30 this morning resulted in 1 man shot to the head.
They in turn went to the exterior of the establishment where persons had started to live, and seeing the male that had obviously gotten into this altercation earlier in the night, sought to approach him again, where they got into further altercation and began exchanging blows when persons pulled up in a gold color Honda Accord, and 2 of the occupants exited. 1 retrieved a handgun and accosted this male who was involved in the altercation on the inside and discharged a shot at him, hitting him into the head. The persons got back into this vehicle and sped off.
Now, patrons at the nightclub eventually left to take the victim to hospital. However, the vehicle carrying the victim had to be chased down by police who were on their way to the scene at the club. Now, detectives eventually got the vehicle to stop somewhere in the Carmichael Road area, and emergency personnel pronounced the male victim dead. However, after dealing with that scene, officers were then led to a Golden Gates residence when 2 men arrived in a champagne Honda Accord and sped off after seeing the police. Authorities pursued the vehicle and later arrested 2 men and a 21-year-old woman believed to be the person those men were fighting over. Well, meantime, police say they are following several leads in the case of that murder on Long Island on Saturday. Head of CDU, Chief Superintendent Paul Roll, says officers were sent to Deadman's Key again today to assist with the investigation into the death of a 53-year-old woman who was found dead tied to a fan in her home. Her body was brought to the Capitol yesterday, and now they're awaiting relatives from the U.S. to arrive for an official identification. Police have since arrested a 44-year-old male friend of the woman who is assisting them with this probe. Unlike what was initially reported by police, Chief Superintendent Roll told reporters today that the victim was not found with stab wounds.
She was found lying on the floor in her bedroom, and she had a apparent bruise to the forehead above the right eye. There was some information circulating about this victim's throat being cut. That is nonsense. Okay, there's no truth in that. That's the only injury that the female has, and obviously we have to wait an autopsy in order to determine the exact cause of death.